Good afternoon, it's Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. Our next continuous voter registration is still on. Use the opportunity to register to vote. On the news this afternoon, Governor Fubara visits Secretariat over fire incident. Rivers head of service confirms probe into Secretariat fire. Eyewitness blames the lack of water, fire extinguishers for level of damage at River Secretariat fire. Council of State set to meet today. On the foreign scene, Israelis mark 2 years since Hamas's attacks on 7 October 2023. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now, let's begin the news this afternoon with an update on the fire incident at the State Secretariat. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara is presently at the State Secretariat to inspect the extent of damage to part of the podium block that was damaged by fire on Monday. The governor was seen greeting some of the civil servants who were jubilating. The governor took a tour around the complex to personally ascertain the situation. Another River State head of service, Dr. Ifechukwu Brown, says investigation into the fire that engulfed parts of the State Secretariat building has commenced. Dr. Brown said this while giving an update on the impact of the fire incident on Tuesday morning. She said workers have been prevented access into the building until the Ministry of Works ascertain the integrity of the building.
The areas damaged are the offices belonging to the River State Rural Water and Supply Agency, the River State Crèche, where you can see mothers have their babies, as at the time they had closed for the day. Part of the clinic, the smoke affected our civil servants clinic. For now, we cannot use the clinic.
She also listed the offices affected.
We've been told by the fire service that people should not enter into the area because they are not sure of the integrity of the structure yet. Ministry of Works have been directed to send structural engineers to come and assess the damage and to tell us the issues relating to the integrity of the building.
Also, the Director Administration Pensions Board, Dr. Iyowoma Bakopari, said the pension board was not affected and all their documents are intact.
Maybe some of the staffs at the end of the job did not take time to switch off their electrical appliances or their switch and so on. The pension board was not affected. No single file, no damage. Staffs are there, the work is already going on, so nothing about function was affected by the fire. Okay, the audit office too was not affected.
Yesterday, fire gutted part of the ground floor of the podium block at the River State Secretariat. The fire was later put out by the combined effort of the state and federal fire service. The head of service, Dr. Ifechukwu Brown, said there were no casualties. She also adds that the fire may have been caused by an electrical fault. Meanwhile, an eyewitness, Mr. Dafe Dokubo, says the degree of damage occasioned by the inferno would have been minimal if there were functional running water taps and strategic placement of fire extinguishers at the Secretariat complex. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent Namdi Wala, Dokubo called for an urgent rehabilitation of the dilapidated buildings at the State Secretariat complex.
Before this time, we are supposed to have fire extinguishers and hose in the building. Situations like this, those equipment would have been helpful. But in these circumstances, you can imagine a building like this, not even running water. We buy water. Even when the state fire service were on ground, you find out that there was no even single water for them to put off the fire. If not for the federal and BUA company fire services that came to help to salvage this situation, if not, we would have had more.
Chairman of the Nigerian Union of Suma is accused some permanent secretaries of undermining Governor Siminalayi Fubara during the period of emergency rule. Speaking on Nigerian FM's Morning Crossfire, Mr. Osuma alleged that some permanent secretaries compromised their integrity and professionalism for personal gain. He condemned their actions and expressed support for any disciplinary measures the governor may decide to take.
Instead of protecting the civil service, most of them sought their right. When you are given an appointment as a pastor, that should stand by their rights. But rather, most of them wanted to use the opportunity to cash out. That is what exactly what most of them did. They later asked for the extension of the emergency rule in the state, which is quite condemnable.
Mr. Osuma warned that civil servants found culpable could face suspension or even lose their jobs.
The governor is fully in charge. If he looks at your offense and it is removal as a PAMSEC, he will do it. If you look at it, it amounts to suspension. Permanent secretary will be suspended or stripped off of his appointment as a permanent secretary. Was any punishment deemed necessary that the governor would take against those people who feel that betrayed the administration? I think we are fully in support of that.
To other matters now, a chieftain of the defunct Simplified movement in River State, Dennis Amadi, says he is not worried that Governor Siminalayi Fubara is meeting with the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and his group without his own supporters. Mr. Amadi, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, said this to correspondent Ifechukwu while reacting to the recent meeting the governor held with the FCT minister. The Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, Martin Muonyili, some elders of the state and others who are loyalists of the FCT minister. He said he is not worried because the governor had always reminded his allies that he can do anything for peace to return to the state.
Personally, I am not worried. I'm not worried because Rivers people elected the governor. And in the mix of the crisis, he has always said to us and to Rivers people that there is no price, that he can do anything for peace to reign in Rivers State. If what he's doing now is part of the statement he has made earlier, so be it. What we want is total peace in the state.
Mr. Amadi, however, expressed hope that another meeting involving supporters of the governor may soon be held.
They are miscalculating the mind of the governor. Just like I've said, he's meeting with people who feel they have been sidelined, who feel they are aggrieved, who feel he has offended them. In his own camp, I don't think any of them will say he has offended. He has gone back to his family. And the offsprings of the families will also come together. Maybe after this top meeting, another meeting will also be called where everybody, remember, we are looking at the support for federal government.
Still on this, a public affairs analyst in Port Harcourt, Ijoma Obi, has praised the meeting but insists the peace process is not yet complete. Speaking with correspondent Obi Oruware, Obi says the three lawmakers who stood by the governor during the political crisis should also be reinstated in the River State House of Assembly.
These House of Assembly members whom have stood with the governor during the feud, since they are beginning to talk about the peace process, they should be able to consider the fact that these House of Assembly members should join their colleagues in sitting. Let's not forget that the Supreme Court, when giving the judgment, ordered that the Assembly members should return back to status quo. The peace process should be inclusive of the interests of these Assembly members.
Mr. Obi also warned both the governor and the FCT minister to convene another meeting that includes elders who supported the governor and loyalists of both leaders.
Some of the elders that supported the governor and said, we are not resolved from the pictures. They were not part of the meeting. For this peace to be realistic, they need to extend the hands of fellowship, unity to these elders from the other side. They should have a one house inclusive discussion to ensure that there is no hitches between them. That is the only way they can convince their followers that truly the peace has been achieved.
Meanwhile, the coordinator of the Peace Initiative, Obi,
building trust, restoring understanding, dating the fragile peace our people have long desired. We understand the concerns expressed in some quarters about the inclusivity of ongoing engagements. However, peace building is often a process that begins in phases.
Obi, I beg your pardon, Ebogidi also warns politicians not to turn the peace process into a political game.
We appeal to all stakeholders, supporters, political actors, media practitioners, and citizens to demonstrate restraint, patience, and goodwill. The path to lasting peace requires understanding that dialogue is not weakness, but wisdom. Our collective responsibility now is to protect the process, not politicize it. We must remember that no one wins in a divided River State.
Now, some residents of Port Harcourt also spoke with correspondent Mercy Adeshina on this.
We can't abolish in talk. There no cause of alarm for their meeting. We just pray let the meeting be peaceful.
They are on their own. They are fighting for their own pockets. Understand? Even say things is hard now. Very, very hard. They are fighting for their own pocket. If they want peace to reign, they should pay everybody.
Not change anybody. Everybody should go back to their seat and do the right thing. Work together. Because teamwork is what they need right now. It's not all these things anymore.
Still to come, Council of State set to meet in Abuja today. Stay with us. Community in Muonyili, Obiakpo local government area, confident Achi has dismissed allegations of land grabbing against Odibola Properties Limited. Speaking in an interview, Achi said the company possesses valid documents for the parcel of land it is currently developing in Muonyili. He added that the chairman of Obiakpo local government area, Gift Nwolo, has already intervened in the matter.
Honorable Gift Nwolo, it cannot supersede the court. There he adjourned the matter. Also advised the both parties to be calm, that they should know that the matter is in court, that whosoever that is doing whatever after the court, that is at this person's own detriment. These persons in question alleging all these allegations on Honorable Gift Nwolo, they engage themselves in internal land grabbing activities in rulemaking. So Odibola itself is not a land grabber. It has a legal backing.
The public relations officer of one of the families, Bestman Emmanuel, appealed to those accusing Dr. Gift Nwolo of instigating the crisis to remain calm and await the outcome of a new survey ordered by the council chairman on the disputed land.
I must say is impatient because Honorable Gift Nwolo, he called for this meeting and requested for few documents which the people that went on air to indict themselves, not Honorable Gift Nwolo, were unable to make these documents available. And this clearly stated in the meeting that the document will be made available on Tuesday. Why didn't they exercise patience till Tuesday, then get the document and fall back to the local government chairman and make their matter open?
Well, away from that, the Chief Judge of River State, Justice Simeon Chibuzamadi, has approved the sitting of magistrates at the Ahoda, Deyema and Port Harcourt custodial centers from Tuesday, October 7 to Thursday, October 9, 2025. A statement signed by the Chief Registrar of the High Court, David Ihwa says the sit-ins are part of ongoing effort to decongest the state's custodial centers. It also notes that the exercise is one of the activities lined up for the 2025/2026 legal year celebrations, which will be held on Friday, October 17, 2025. Now, the Federal Ministry of Environment has warned that Ahoda and some other communities in 16 states across the country may experience flooding between October 4th and 8th. In a new notice signed by the flood control managed upon Bokani, the ministry also listed Asaba in Delta State, Brass, Ibidiama, Odoni, and Nsukka in Enugu State among 39 locations in 16 states that could be affected. The ministry says heavy rainfall in recent weeks has raised the chances of flash floods, especially in low-lying areas. It stressed that the alert is not to create panic, but to encourage residents to take early action. People are advised to clean their gutters, monitor water channels, and move to safer places ahead of time to avoid loss of lives and property. The ministry also says it will work closely with NEMA and state emergency teams to respond quickly if flooding occurs. Meanwhile, a community leader in Ahoda East local government area, Emenibe, is calling on the River State government to activate the state flood committee led by the deputy governor.
There is high flow of water in our areas from Ahoda East to Ahoda West. and to Onega and Abua. We are appealing to relevant government authority. I think they should activate the fraud committee so that they can swing into action.
Also, Mr. Ibe urged the 4 local government areas in the Orashi region, Ahoda West, Ahoda East, Oba Ebemandoni, and Abua Odua, to create awareness and prepare safe shelters for residents who might be affected by the flood.
We also believe that the local government areas should, in River State, should intensify efforts to ensure that our people are taken care of. They should be proactive. They should not wait for the flood to come. The signals are very clear that the flood are coming. Enough notice have been given. Government should prepare our people, the IDP camps, to a safer ground.
In other news, the Council of State is set to meet today, Thursday. In a statement by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Senator George Akume said the meeting will be hybrid, physical and virtual. The SGF said a meeting of the Police Council will also be held today, Thursday, at the Council Chamber of Aso Villa in Abuja. We move straight to business. As organizations across the world mark Customer Service Week, CEO of Cool Wazobia Info Kids FM's Serge Nujaim has reminded staff that the celebration reflects the effort of everyone who keeps the company running. Nujaim applauded staff members across departments and highlighted key milestones, including Kids FM's expansion to Abuja and Port Harcourt, renewal of EPL radio rights, and the launch of the digital desk, which he described as a game changer for the company's digital future.
So today is about recognizing that it really takes all of us. This week is a moment to pause and recognize these efforts, not as a ritual, but as a reality. Because our greatest strength is the people who show up, collaborate, and push us forward. Demanding environment. The pressure we faced, both external and internal, are a real test to all of us. So if there's one lesson we have to take from today, exceptional service is only possible when every team member plays its part, consistently, reliably.
In the same spirit, Cool Wazobia Info Kids FM's General Manager, Femi Obon Daniels, urged staff members to embrace teamwork, positivity, and excellence in every interaction. He encouraged employees to choose solutions over excuses, energy over eye service, and result over reasons, noting that everyone from on-air talent to interns plays a vital role in shaping the brand.
Every employee is valuable. Every single employee. Every interaction matters. Every customer matters, including the very annoying one. Excellence must be for everyone. The truth is, excellence is not an accident. It's an attitude. We can choose to complain or we can choose to shine. We can choose to sulk, moan, or we can choose to smile. When we say excellence, it means choosing solutions over excuses.
The management also rewarded outstanding and exceptional staff. In entertainment, Nigerian rapper Odumodu Black has risen to the top of the chart, securing the #1 spot on the Apple Music Nigeria Top Albums chart, few hours after its release, 5th studio album, Industry Machine, surpassing Adekunle Gold's Fuji. In sport, FIFA has accused Malaysia of falsifying citizenship documents so 7 foreign-born players could play for the national team. Football's world governing body has fined and suspended the players in late September and on Monday released a report justifying its action.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
Israelis are gathering at memorial events to mark 2 years since Hamas's attacks on 7 October 2023, in which about 1,200 people were killed and 251 others were taken hostage. At the site of the Nova Festival attack, memorials are garnished with flowers, tributes, and candles. The sister-in-law of one of 20 hostages believed to be alive in Gaza says she and other families will keep fighting until they are all returned to Israel. Israel's military launched a campaign in Gaza in response to Hamas's attacks, which has killed at least 67,160 people there. Indirect talks between Israel and Hamas aimed at securing a deal to end the war are continuing in Egypt today. Well, that's the news this hour. But before we go, here are the headlines once again. We told you the Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has visited the State Secretariat to personally ascertain the level of damage caused by yesterday's fire. You heard that the Rivers State Head of Service, Dr. Iyengi Brown, has confirmed that investigation has commenced into the Secretariat fire incident. We brought you the report that an eyewitness has blamed lack of water and fire extinguishers for the level of damage at Rivers Secretariat fire. We reported that a meeting of the Council of State is set to hold in Abuja today. On the foreign scene, Israelis mark 2 years since Hamas's attacks on 7th October 2023. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.